Welcome back to our backpacking journey across Sri Lanka. In the last video, my friend Jaden and I were exploring the jungles of Sigiriya, where we've since made our way further south to the city of Kandy. Our next step was to hop on the 4-hour train ride south through the heart of the country to make it to the small mountain town of Nuwara Eliya, also known as Little England. And what's really cool about the trains here is that they keep the windows and doors open in the second and third class, so you can just sit out on the edge or even hang off the side of the train if you want to. It's quite a different experience than your typical cross-country train ride.
All right, y'all, we've officially made it to the next location in Sri Lanka, which is Nuwara Eliya. It's kind of like this little tea town nestled in between all these mountains. It's really beautiful, kind of in the heart of the country. So we just hopped off the long 4-hour train ride from Kandy in the north, and that was honestly one of the most beautiful train rides I've ever been on. What's really cool is they actually like open the doors and the windows so you can kind of hang out the side of the train, and you're just going through all these tea plantations, mountains, so much nature. So yeah, it just looks so beautiful. And right now we actually just arrived at our little homestay, so we're kind of staying with the host family, and they have a few rooms that they rent out, which I think is really cool. It's kind of nice to live with the locals a bit. So right now we're just heading like a kilometer into town, and supposedly the architecture of this town is supposed to kind of resemble like British colonies, which I think is really cool. It's a little different than the other Sri Lanka places we've been. So we're gonna check that out, grab some food, and keep exploring. Unfortunately though, this time of year is known as like rainy season. So usually around like 2 p.m. it starts raining all day, which kind of sucks, but it's also kind of nice because the weather is a lot cooler up in the mountains, which I absolutely love because it's been so damn hot in Sri Lanka.
We continued walking around until we eventually came across a very fancy looking building next to a golf course. So of course we decided to check it out.
This is insane. This is unreal. Look how nice that is.
Everything's so fancy here.
Yeah. The rollerball one, this is literally like St. Andrews.
So apparently this is not part of the golf course or the country club, but this is just one of the fanciest hotels in the entire town. And yeah, probably the fanciest to be honest. And yeah, just gonna eat here because it's still pretty darn cheap compared to America.
Oh, awesome. And snacks. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow.
How is it?
Wow. It's so good.
Guys, I'm not kidding you. This food looks insane. And this was what, like $8-10 something?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Which is expensive.
Yeah, which is pretty expensive here. Oh my God.
Is it good?
It's so good. Well, that was just insane.
That was awesome.
Oh, well, that was a well-needed meal. And it's raining again, but I think we're still gonna, I don't know, should we explore the city or should we go back tonight? Screw it. Rain kind of sucks, but not much else to do.
Pastry time.
Ooh, should we get some?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Found some pastries over here, so little local spot we're gonna check out. The goods have been secured. What was that? We got 3 things for like...
We got a Winyan roll. We got a chocolate donut. And a coffee cake for 260 rupee, which is...
What, like $1?
Not even $1.
Not even $1? Oh, it's insane how far money goes.
So we got Winyan roll. Food review number 2, Sri Lanka, Nuwara Eliya. Let's see how it goes. It's essentially just like sugar bread, they call it. It's good. Very good. Kind of plain. I'll go 7 flat. 7 flat. Winyan roll. Nuwara Eliya, Sri Lanka.
All right, so we got a chocolate donut from that shop. As you can see, on the grind, we're staying healthy. All right, one bite. Oh, good frosting. I like the texture. It kind of tastes kind of like a glazed donut. That's pretty good. I'll give it like an 8, solid 8.
8 flat.
8 flat. So we just got a new hat. I don't know if y'all heard, but when we were in Sigiriya, we were on a big safari jeep and I was standing up wearing the hat and the wind just completely took it. So I lost a good hat, so I needed one and came across this. And this is actually our beautiful homestay. So as you might have heard me say, we're staying with a host family. There's actually I think 4 or 5 rooms. So there's a few different people that are staying here, but it's hosted and owned by this traditional Sri Lankan family, which I think is so cool to just kind of live with the locals. And they're making us breakfast tomorrow and they're super nice people. But this place is absolutely gorgeous. We got our own private balcony, mountains, fog, everything. You can see the entire city below me, and this place is really darn cool. And if you guys are going to be in the area, I'll definitely put a link in the description for this homestay if you want to book it. We went through booking.com, but I'll link it in the description.
We spent the rest of that night just chilling back at the homestay, trying to catch up on some sleep. It was finally nice to just have our own rooms and showers after staying in all the hostels the past few nights.
Absolutely beautiful morning here in T-Town. I love this place so much. It's kind of get that small town feel, and I love how it's nestled in between all these mountains, especially in the morning when all this fog rolls through. It's so beautiful. But we actually just got served the free breakfast from our stay here, and it was really good, like pancakes, eggs, all that stuff. So that was awesome, especially when it's free. But yeah, so it's around 7 a.m. right now. We're actually getting picked up by our friend who's a tuk-tuk driver, and we're gonna head off to a And we're gonna head off to a waterfall that he knows somewhere over there in the mountains, and there's a little hike to get to it. So yeah, I think that'll be cool. I love being out here in the nature and the mountains, waterfalls. That's one of our favorite things to do and explore. So I'm excited to see that, and let's get going.
After almost not getting the tuk-tuk started, we finally got moving and on the way to the waterfall. We were told the drive would take around an hour to get there, which honestly I didn't even mind because the views from the road were just so pretty. Our guy started giving us a little bit of history about the town, explaining that golf course we saw is actually the oldest golf course in all of South Asia, and that only some of the wealthiest people in the town can even afford to play it. He also said that the town gets its nickname of Little England from all the old colonial buildings and architecture, and also from the more temperate and rainy climate. Now, another thing I found to be super interesting was that because of the town's such high elevation, they're able to grow a wide variety of crops and tea because of the cooler climate, and actually a huge portion of their economy comes from all these tea plantations.
All right, so we just got dropped off. We kind of got a viewpoint of the first waterfall, but to get to the real thing, we have to hike up a little bit. So we're ready. Weather's pretty nice. Apparently you can't go in, but it's still pretty darn cool to look at. So we finally made it up all these stairs. It was kind of steep, a little more than I thought, but unfortunately we got to the top, which is great, but it is completely fogged in, as you can see, so we can barely see the top of the waterfall. But fortunately, there is a lower point at the bottom of the falls, so we kind of saw that, and it looks like you can see the full falls. So fingers crossed. I hope we still get a good view, but oh, it feels so good finally to be up in the high altitudes.
We stayed up there for a little while, and after around 15 to 20 minutes, the fog actually began to clear and we were able to get a full view of that waterfall. After taking a few more pictures and checking out some nearby viewpoints, it was time to start making our way back to the train station so we could head on our journey towards Ella. We definitely took advantage of the open doors on this train ride, taking in all the scenic views.
We're almost at Ella. These views are unbelievable, and just being able to like sit outside is one of the coolest things ever. Let's go. We just finally made it to Ella. That was like a 3-hour train ride, but one of the most beautiful rides I've ever been on in my life, probably the most. So yeah, now we're gonna go head to our hostel and kind of explore this town. I guess it's only like one little strip, so we'll see what Ella has to offer. All right, well, it is nighttime here in Ella, and we're gonna go out and explore the town. It definitely, if any of y'all have ever been to Bali, it kind of has that very similar vibe. Very, very touristy though. So we're gonna explore. This whole strip has tons of restaurants and bars, so we're gonna check it out.
We spent most of that night walking around and meeting people until we eventually headed back to the hostel to just hang out and get ready for the next day.
All right, so it is now officially our first full day in Ella, and we are waking up bright and early. It's around 7:30 in the morning, and we are gonna head out, get some breakfast in town before heading out to the hike called Adams Peak. It's supposed to be this amazing view of all the surrounding mountains and the town of Ella, so really excited for that. And we actually rented some motorbikes the other day, which is really nice to be able to just drive everywhere, not have to worry about it. We got a great deal, so happy about that, and let's get moving. Well, we just parked the bikes right here because there is this insane view on the way to the hike. We're literally like above the clouds. You can see all the roads down there. This is unreal. All right, so we just parked the bikes and we paid the guy. It was only 100 rupees, which is only like $1 US. And yeah, we're starting the trek up. I think it's only like 20 to 30 minutes to the top, so not too bad, but the views are supposed to be amazing. Whew, man. Definitely a lot of stairs to this hike. Already feeling it. It's actually turning out to be a lot harder than I thought, despite the elevation. But look at these views, all above the clouds. Looks like we're in like Norway or something. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Just about there. All right, we made it down. Unfortunately, kind of as soon as we got up there, the fog really came in and kind of killed all the views. But now we are gonna head to one of the most famous attractions in all of Sri Lanka.
After spending some time at the bridge, me, Jaden, and our friend Josh decided to hop on the bikes and go for a scenic drive to check out some waterfalls outside the city.
So the next spot on the list is something called the Secret Waterfall. So it actually is kind of secret looking in the beginning. We kind of parked right at this local shop. And you kind of go in between these small buildings and all of a sudden there's this big staircase leading down to this insane waterfall. So I guess it's not completely secret because it does look like there's some people here, but we're gonna go check it out. It's really cool. Just the drive down here was unreal. Going through all the twists and turns through the mountains was so beautiful. And I'm just blown away by Ella so far. This is crazy. It actually isn't even any tourists, it's all just local families. So apparently we came to find out that there are a bunch of leeches in all the waterfalls around here. So we didn't end up going in. I didn't even bring my bathing suit, but we are gonna do a bunch of waterfalls tomorrow. So hopefully if there's no leeches, we'll be able to get in there because they look pretty damn cool. There were some families in there. If you guys saw, that was awesome. Playing like volleyball. I think that's so cool. Just observe the locals and stuff. And there were so many monkeys on the trail up that I didn't even expect. So anyway, now we're gonna hop back on the bikes. It's about a 30-minute drive back into town. Gonna get some lunch and take it from there.
On the ride back home, we ran into a giant troop of monkeys that basically decided to take over the entire road. We spent the rest of that day hanging out and really getting to know the town. The next few days consisted of lots of scenic drives and hopping back and forth to a few waterfalls. Overall, I'd say I really enjoyed my time in both Nuwara Eliya and Ella. It was certainly a change of pace from the typical hot and tropical Sri Lanka. As we continue our journey further south, be sure to tune in next time as we take on the world-famous Ella National Park. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all real soon.